And we've got our correspondent Natalia Margarita joining us now live from Bogota, where social movements are celebrating the breakthrough in Havana. Hi Natalia, what's the mood there like? What have been the reactions there in Colombia?
Hi there, Regan. The mood is incredible. I can't really describe it in words. I can really put it into words. Emotions are running incredibly high. I'm talking to you live now from the place in Bogota where different social movements, political leaders gathered to await for this important and significant latest agreement by the FARC and the government. They have been referring to this day as a historic day, not just for the peace process, but for Colombia as a country. Many of those leaders have been victims of the armed conflict themselves, victims of political violence, and you could see tears in their eyes out of happiness, of emotion, and of the very, very high hope that they are having now. To put a little bit into context why people are so excited and emotional here in Colombia, I have to say that this was one of the most challenging points to agree. During the first year of the peace negotiations, the FARC and the government managed, in fact, to agree on 3 points that are land reform, political participation, and agreements on to stop the trade of illegal drugs. But then came this point of justice and victims, and it came as a huge challenge that even took them more than 1 year to finally reach an agreement on that. So today, when this agreement was announced from Havana, also by President Santos himself, together with the maximum leader of the FARC, so they see this as a definitive moment for the peace process. They say that there is no way back for this peace process, that we're actually very close to have a final peace accord. And in fact, it was announced by President Santos from Havana, it was announced from Havana by the peace delegation that over the course of maximum the next 6 months, we're going to finally see this final peace agreement reached. Regan.
Natalia, quickly before you leave, you and I spoke a bit on this earlier today, the point on justice for the victims, which has been described as the most challenging issue in the whole peace process. Can you yet explain exactly what it involves?
It involves on the first place, to have the victims in the center of the transitional justice system that had been agreed. And then to have the victims at the center, it implies compensation, full compensation for the victims. That implies guarantees of non-repetition, but also truth. There is also something very interesting that many victims of state crimes have been demanding for decades here in Colombia, and it has to do that not just the insurgency must commit to the truth and face justice, but also state agents that have been involved in crimes in the wake of this more than 5 decades armed conflict should also face justice, Regan. And this was explicit in the agreement that we got to know today, Regan. So to sum it up, it implies compensation for the victims, truth, and guarantees of non-repetition. That's what we're talking about here in general terms, Regan.
Thanks so much for the update, Margarita. We'll touch base with you another time.
Back to you, Regan.